Hello, welcome to St Anne's Catholic Primary School. This video will explain how multiplication is taught in school, right from reception up to year 6. There are 3 other videos if you want to have a look. Addition, subtraction and division. So our first learning objective here, as you can see, we go from concrete to pictorial to abstract, which is the concept that our Inspire Math scheme is based on, which comes from Singapore. We've got repeated grouping and repeated addition. So we start with 3 lots of 4. Now the first number in a multiplication is always how many groups there are, and the second number is how many's in a group. So we've got 3 lots of 4 here. 4 plus 4 plus 4. Now this is represented using multi-link in this example, and then it moves on to showing it in pictures using X's or using the bar model using dots. And then we go on to the abstract, which is 3 times 4 or 4 plus 4 plus 4. Now the children will always, at St Anne's, will always start with the concrete multi-link or counters or something along those lines, and move on to the pictorial before they go on to the abstract. Again, this is depending on the ability of your child. So the next stage we've got here is arrays, to show that multiplication can be commutative, as in it can be 2 lots of 5 is the same as 5 lots of 2. So you can see here how it's been shown using multi-link cubes, 5 lots going down the ways of 2 going across, and that can be flipped to 2 lots of 5 going across. The children then move on to drawing the arrays themselves in their maths book, so they can just draw their dots on their maths square paper. They can help them to solve multiplication problems. And then we go on to the abstract, and using the array with a range of calculations, so we have 2 times 5 equals 10, which is the same as 5 times 2 equals 10, which is the same as 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 10, which is the same as 5 plus 5 equals 10. So the next section of our calculation policy is partition to multiply. So here we've got Numicon, base 10 and Cuisenaire rods to show how we would work out 4 lots of 15, or 4 multiplied by 15. We have 15, 15, 15, 15 4 times, and you can see that is grouped together in the base 10, Numicon and Cuisenaire to show how we get the answer. Then we move on to the pictorial. You can see we've drawn 4 10s and 15, so we've got 1 10 and 5 1s, 1 10 and 5 1s, 1 10 and 5 1s, 1 10 and 5 1s. Then all the ones are regrouped into 2 10 sticks, because the 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20, which is added into the tens column. Then you can see how that is written in the abstract. So we have 4 lots of 15, that's partitioned into 4 lots of 10 and 4 lots of 5. So we've 10 times 4 is 40, 5 times 4 is 20, and 40 plus 20 is 60. Now once the children get to this abstract stage, if they have successfully completed the concrete and the pictorial, the abstract then is pretty easy from then. Then we move on to the formal column method. We can use place value counters or base 10 at the concrete level. Now the example here is 3 lots of 23. You can see they've used the place value counters here, and we've got 3 groups of 23. And what happens is we add up all the 1s and we add up all the 10s to find the answer. And this can be represented in pictorial by just drawing their 10s and 1s. As you can see, the 1s are added up, 10s are added up, and it's pretty straightforward. Then onto the abstract, we have 3 lots of 23, or 3 lots of 20, and 3 lots of 3. 3 times 20 is 60, 3 times 3 is 9, and 60 plus 9 is 69, and that is represented then in the column method. Then we move on to 6 lots of 23. Now this requires regrouping. Now you can see we have here on this slide 6 groups of 23, so we have 23 6 times. So step 1, we get lots of 23. Step 2 is we do the 1. So 6 lots of 3 is 18. Can I regroup? Yes. So you regroup 10 ones for a 10 and you add that into your tens column. Then you do the 10, 6 lots of 2 tens, and extra 10 is 13 tens, which can be regrouped because it's too many tens, into 100. So that leaves 100 in the hundreds column. And then all we need to do is we have to add up how many in the hundreds, tens and ones. You can see that drawn pictorially and how the children here have drawn a circle around the number that's being regrouped and added into the tens column or into the hundreds column. And then the formal method written here, 23 times 6. Now please take note where the regroup 10 and 100 is written. In the olden days this used to be written on the line above the answer, but now it's written underneath, and this is what the children are taught right from year 1, year 2. Then we go on to long multiplication. 124 times 26. What we start with is 124, 6 lots of 124, so the answer is worked out here, and then 20 lots of 124, and that's written underneath. Then the two answers are added together. Now again, just please note where the regrouped numbers are written, as it's really important moving through the year groups in school. Now the very last section of our calculation policy on multiplication here is different ways to ask the children to do 6 times 23, which might be useful at home. Now we have bar model representation here, 23, 23, 23, 6 times. So what is the whole? You can do it with counters. You can ask the question, why is 6 times 23 the same as 32 times 6, or is it not? Then we move on to possible word problems. We can change that into word problems. We've got swimming here and pounds and pence. Then we can look at real abstract and way of looking at it. Find the product of 6 and 23. Blank equals 6 times 23, and then using the commutative rule here, 6 lots of 23 or 23 lots of 6. Then the last example it gives here, what's the calculation? So the answer, what's the answer, what's the calculation? The children have to figure that out for themselves. I hope you find the video informative, and take a look at our other videos. If you get any questions, please don't hesitate to contact school. Thank you.